What is going on there, guys, at YouTube? This is Brad Gaming Mole here, and for another Marvel Future Fight vid. I haven't done one in a while for many reasons, and I feel I should use this video instead of just talking over it while I'm showing off the new characters and whatnot. Reasons why I haven't been showing off this video as much. First off, I've been going through a lot of depression issues, and I sat there while I'm recording random things, DBZ Dokkan Battle, and a bunch of other mobile games. I'm just I sat there and what's the point? I'm not really making any actual progress, and there's no one really watching. There's no one really watching. In terms of Marvel Future Fight, people only want to see the world boss. World bosses be fought. That's all people want to see getting fought. And there's already a guy out there that makes a huge killing off of making videos off this, where he, she, or it, we, I don't know the person, explains all the characters and whatnot, gives this huge breakdown. I don't exactly care for those videos because I'm just well, this is one of those games where it's very hard to say what's the best to me. It's incredibly hard to say what's the best because I still have the feeling that any character can be the best character in the game if you put the work in for it. Second, I haven't been able to really do anything of actual significance up until recently. So to explain what's been going on, well, sorry, go back a couple of words on that. I don't really like showing off the mobile games too much unless it's something significant. I'm doing something really significant, oh well, I did this, or oh, I did this. That, and a lot of the mobile games I've been playing, it's either been incredibly hard to record because things will go wrong, or the events just piss me off way too much. And this game even had an event going on that pissed me off way too much. And that was the Easter event, which this game's Easter event was, it would show off, it was basically, you could fight all the world bosses, and they're supposedly easier, but they're not. The thing is that during that Easter event, you fight the world bosses, and they basically had the same stats as they did in World Boss Invasion, which basically meant that they're weaker, and you could hit them with a lot more things than normal. Problem was that instead of fighting one world boss, which I could handle one world boss if it's that low in HP. Problem is that they still had pretty high stats, and you had to fight two world bosses in one battle. And I'm okay, I can take down one world boss, but I can't take down two. So I got really frustrated at that, and I just say, you know what, I'm just gonna wait until I can get something significant done and go from there. Anyway, something significant in this game has happened. I haven't exactly beaten the world boss, but I have grinded a bunch of characters to getting them to 6-star rank, and I'm still working on getting them mastered. A lot of the characters are more or less suggested, and if you saw my last video, I went with Agent Venom. You might have noticed I picked Agent Venom as my character, and I went with the Rocket Raccoon uniform. So I got the Rocket Raccoon uniform going. This Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 uniform. I've messed around with his stats a lot. I messed around with his stat table a lot to try and and these are more or less built. This is more or less a build based on suggestions I've received when I've asked. Thing is for Rocket Raccoon is that nobody plays Rocket Raccoon. Well, I wouldn't say nobody plays Rocket Raccoon, but there's very few people that play Rocket Raccoon because they're oh well, I got Sharon Rogers, so I could easily destroy the game just by using her. I'm I don't want to use Sharon Rogers. I want to use characters that I like to use because Otherwise, why am I playing this game? And you've heard me say that before many times. Also, what they've added is they've added like a rank. They added this ranking combat power rank system, which basically it tells you out of all the people that use this character, it ranks you as to where you stand in terms of all the people that use this character or who have built this character up to whatever. So I've messed around with Rocket Raccoon a lot, and I've built them to a good standard. I built him to a good standard. I still don't like it because his staying power, because he still doesn't have that. He still doesn't have the survivability I had with my old build, where I was actually surviving and I could actually tank I could actually take a lot of hits from Sharon Rogers with that build. But no, they were like, oh well, but no, and I'm honestly trying to find a way around the logic that a lot of players have of you shouldn't be getting hit anyway. Like I'm trying to look for a build that gets around that logic, because I'm like, well, dude, I'm Rocket Raccoon and I'm going to get hit one way or another, because I'm against characters like Sharon Rogers or Loki or Doctor Strange, where I don't have a choice but to actually take hits from them. Like I really don't like my Rocket Raccoon being the glass cannon status that he is right now. But this build works. This build right now works for what it does. I've edited Warwolf a bit. And I'm still searching for that better build, because it's very hard for me to actually find a build that works for him. Like, one thing I want to do is I want to get the critical rate up a lot more. I love where my critical damage stands, which is at 200%. So when this guy lands a crit, it's going to hurt, and it essentially does kill most characters. Does kill most characters in Timeline, where it's just like, blah, you're done. So I do love that. At the same time, I am trying to figure out Warwolf, and him, like Rocket Raccoon, does not get used a lot. A lot of people will use Warwolf just for his 5th skill, and then they'll tag him out. Which I sit there and I go, well, what's the point of even having Warwolf on your team if that's all you're going to use him for, is just that? I got Iron Man up to 6-star mastery. I don't exactly plan on building him any further, because I don't exactly care for Iron Man. But hey, he's there, and like, let me just organize this. And oh no, I already started going through various different characters. I managed to pick up Dormammu in my, like, just by doing my dailies normally. And thanks to the Easter event, they dropped for me a lot of hidden tickets, which the hidden tickets allowed me to go through the hidden stages just enough times to where I could actually recruit Dormammu. Problem is that I found out that Dormammu does not level normally. He does not level normally at all. None of the world boss characters level normally. He's different from Doctor Strange as well. So in order to level up these guys, you have to sacrifice your hard-earned biometrics to level that character up. And then once that character levels up, you can finally increase that character's rank. But you also have to do this material processing thing just so you can raise that character's rank even further. So this is just an investment. This is just a huge investment that I don't really want to do, and I don't care for now that I saw it. I was sitting there going, oh my god, hype, I have a character that will automatically be tier 2 and ready to go. And then I saw what I really had to do in order to build it. So I just said screw it. Doctor Strange, I'm in the same boat. Because at this point, I can't level Doctor Strange. Because Doctor Strange's next mission is I have to do another research mission. No problem, right? But his research mission is that I need to gather Nornstone and Chaos. 1,200, as a matter of fact. And the only way you can get it, they say you can only get it in World Boss Raid, but that's not completely true. It's really you get it from World Bosses. You have to beat the World Bosses and hope that it drops. And you need 1,200. Why? So this guy is just a huge... So I just was like, you know what? I don't care. Screw it. I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm done. I was like, no, you can stay as you are with him. I beefed up Spider-Man to 6-star. I kind of plan on getting him up to tier 2. Kinda. The reason why I say kind of is because his tier 2 is... Like, his tier 2 is great. His tier 2 is great. There's no arguments about that. But in terms of speed types, I went, In terms of speed types, I looked around and I saw Black Widow. I was like, okay, well, Black Widow is a lot better in terms of tier 2. And using Spider-Man, like, especially for the intention of running through world bosses, it's not that great. Because the world bosses will resist any web effects, and I don't have, like, considering the web effects don't work on them, and Spider-Man is all about the webs. Groot is so close. Groot is so close to being tier 2. It's ridiculous. I'm just sad. Like, I'm honestly sad because of how much, like all the other characters, how much I gotta pretty much grind just to get these gears maxed out. And I want to get him to tier 2 because his tier 2 skill is good. See, I mean, look at 25% rate when hit, so 1 in 4 chance when hit. Recovers HP by 20%. And then his passive. But at the same time, I felt like switching Groot to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 uniform, the baby Groot one. And I showed in the last video his skills have changed, but his passives have not changed. But his leader passive will probably apply to speed types only. But it's Groot, and I'm like, you know what? Let's run it. I still have Ultron at 6-star ranking. I don't know if I'll max. I don't know if I will build him up to tier 2. He would be easy to get up to tier 2. And while I'm thinking about it, let me max out this skill. Oh, that's neat. Now they tell me, oh, this skill's at max level in a fancy way. I feel like his tier 2 will be. His tier 2 is rather basic in my opinion, where it's just. It increases the damage and increases his summons stats. It increases the characters that he summons during no strings, which is good because he can use that. I'm not sure if I actually mentioned this in a video or not, but when I did World Boss Invasion, I ended up with like 300 some odd biometrics for Black Bolt. And I was like, oh my god, that's enough to get him up to 5-star. So I sat there for a while getting him up to, and I finally got him up to 6-star. And I'm like, I could probably get this guy up to tier 2. Which his tier 2 would actually be a great thing because he got, because he has the sonic screen, because all I have to do is use Quasi Sonic Scream and I'll have damage immunity for a while. But I got him built up there. Venom's been sitting at 6-star for a long while. I've also been building on Angela because I was basically researching characters. And one of the things that I wanted to do was, I'll show it here. Well, I'll show it after I do it here. But I got Angela up to 6 stars. Getting her gears maxed out to 20 is going to take quite a while. Like getting her gears up to level 20 is going to be a while, but I should get her up to tier 2. Problem is that Angela is one of those characters that like Rocket Raccoon shows up rarely as a dimension shifter. So that's going to be very difficult to grind for, and I might as well just get like a huge universal pack and just do it that way. You guys already know I got Sharon Rogers. I pretty much got her up to this far, and that's as far as I feel like going, because it's just like like I know her passive is great. But I'm just like whatever. And I know she's a great character. I'm still like whatever, I don't exactly care. Sif, she's still at 6 stars. She has mastery. I need to build up her skills quite a bit. Excuse me. And she might be tier 2, I don't know. I finally got Ulik up to 6 stars. Ulik is definitely going to be one of those characters that is going to be incredibly hard to grind for because he's in the Asgard chapters. And the Asgard chapters are very hard to deal with. But the reason why I went with Ulik, aside from nobody said, like, the thing is, like, nobody really said anything about this character. And I sat there and I just looked through all of his skills and whatnot. And one of his skills is like, right here. he can reset the critical rate. Well, like when not reset critical rate, like when he hits with a crit, like when he hits with a critical attack, it resets the cooldown on all his skills. Like resets the cooldown for all his skills. So I can pretty much spam Troll's Roar, be immune to physical damage, and increase my damage to superhero type characters, and still run through all of my skills again. Especially considering the cooldown. Not to mention, I actually want to get him to tier 2 because his tier 2 is actually pretty great for himself. Now, as for his build, I haven't exactly figured out everything entirely. But one of the things I did figure out is that I want to put everything towards his critical rate. Well, I want to put his Wild Teeth gear, his 4th one, on critical rate. As for this, this is gonna take a while to deal with. The obelisk bit is stupid, and it's incredibly random as to whether or not I'll have a good one or not. But otherwise, I want to be like, you know what? I want to build. It's like I want to build on Ulik. I want to build this guy because this guy, look, to me, I feel like he's gonna be one of the best characters I have. Maximus, I haven't exactly done anything with. Since I've picked him up. Black Widow is one of the newer characters I picked up. And she is stupid close to being tier 2. But the problem is I have to get the mastery, which I need Norn Stones like crazy just to get that up there. Not only will I need 150 Norn Stones, I'll need an extra, I'm trying to remember how many was it for the next upgrade. I'll need, I think it's like 200 or something, just to go up to the next upgrade. So at the same time, I've also been building Captain America because this one was a suggestion, like, oh, you should build Captain America, it'll be great on your team. He's not. The only reason why people are saying Captain America is great on your team is because people have been using this uniform. They've been using this uniform where it's the evil Captain America that works for Hydra, and his skills have changed up quite a lot. Or they've been using the Civil War one where I believe he basically summons Winter Soldier on his team. I honestly grew to the point I just like, you know what, I don't care for Captain America. He's there. Like, he's here, so whatever. Also, I have been building Medusa. Oh, wait, I skipped. I built Elsa Bloodstone, more or less. She's at 6 stars, but she's got a lot of work to be put in as well. She's got a ton of work that needs to be put in as well in order to max her out. I also, when the uniform sale went on, I picked up that one uniform that is apparently crazy, where she just starts waving around lasers with her guns instead of shooting guns. I wonder if I should have went with this one instead. I don't know. But I've been building, I build an Elsa Bloodstone. So after I get Black Widow maxed out, which my Black Widow, I basically based her build off of, I found a build online that actually made a lot of sense, in my opinion, where it's focused on her dodge. It's basically focused on her dodge rate, and I'm like, So I want to max out her dodge rate, and then just basically beat up on every opponent that comes my way. A lot of people were saying like, oh, I think it was her 2099 or her Civil War outfit was the best, but I went like, whatever. But the build I found was like, oh, we'll use Age of Ultron uniform and like build her towards dodge, and you should be straight and can pretty much solo. You can solo the alliance battles and solo a lot of other stuff as well. And I felt like, well, this build feels confident. So with the event that went on, I decided to build on Agent Venom. Because, well, you saw, like, in the skill preview, you saw his skills, and I was like, you know what? This actually feels like a great thing to use. Feels like a great character to use. Not to mention that he also has a lot of good teams. Like, he can team up with Rocket Raccoon and Groot, even though, as a leader, he doesn't give benefits to doesn't give a benefit to Rocket Raccoon too much. But Rocket Raccoon does give benefits back to him with the cooldown. Who else? I've been building on Medusa because, like, as well, I've been researching characters, and I'm like, what character to play? And aside from the common characters that everyone always suggests, I found Medusa, and I'm like, I was like, dude, Medusa was pretty like great when she showed up. Like, I don't know why people aren't using her. So Millie of Rage, as I call her, I'm like, you know what? This seems like a great character to build on. She's gonna take forever because because right now I need the biometrics, and to get her up to tier 2 would be quite a long time to work on. Baron Mordo, he ended up getting where he is because I was grinding. I was just doing some basic grinding, and I was like, you know what? Between the Wong mission and the Mordo mission, I might as well just do the Mordo mission, and ended up with biometrics. So he's gonna be 6 stars. A bunch of these characters are gonna end up hitting the 6-star ranking. But to tell you what I'm trying to do, and I'm basically trying to make sure I have 5. I want to make sure I have like 5 of each class of character. Which Oh, I think I skipped Green Goblin, didn't I? Yeah, I've been building on Green Goblin. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I like. Not sure if I like his uniform or not, but whatever. I picked it up during the St. Patrick's Day event when they put all the green uniforms on sale. Say honestly, to me, I feel Green Goblin is great as in his normal uniform or this uniform. It doesn't matter because they built him correct. They actually built him pretty well in both ways. So I built on him. Anyway, like I was saying, I want to have 5. I want to have at least 5 of each class of character. So 5 combat types. 5 combat types at max of 6 stars, which I have already. So in terms of combat, I have 2, 4, 5. Well, 2, 4, 6, 7 characters. So where did I get 5 from? I must be tired. I have 7 characters at 6 star in combat types. In terms of speed, I'm still working on it. I have 3 characters at 6 star. Miles will hit 6 star at some point in his life. I don't know when. I kind of just stopped building on him because I was like, I don't know. Daredevil just ended up that way. I ended up recruiting him at 4 stars, and then as the biometrics came along, he ended up being 5 stars. So that's great. Black Cat, I'm not building on her. She just ended up getting biometrics. I'm like, well, why not? Gamora, I've seen her skills. They are pretty crazy. They're honestly pretty crazy in my opinion. And I'm like, you know what? She can definitely be the 5th or 6th 6-star character for the speed type class. Technically, I have 4 characters at speed type when you count Green Goblin, but he's currently in the other uniform, so think about it there. Last types. I have Rocket Raccoon, Iron Man, Sharon Rogers, Maximus at 6 stars. Baron Mordo's coming up. Baron Mordo is slowly coming up to 6-star ranking. War Machine might be there because I heard a lot of talk about War Machine, but at the same time, like, maybe I'll just go build Phil Coulson because, I mean, Phil Coulson's actually a pretty cool character. And now that he actually has a tier 2, it might actually work out in favor. It might actually work out in favor. To see, like, his tier 2 applies to all hero allies. So he can actually put in some work. I don't know how great Phil Coulson actually is, but I feel like I can actually work on him and get him built up to where he's ready to go. Crystal might be up there as the 6-star. I mean, I've seen Crystal go to work and she's pretty crazy. Moon Girl, Moon Girl, I'm kind of like, At the same time, while I've been grinding, I've just been, for the most part, and other characters, I've just been grinding to at least get characters up to 4-star ranking. So I can level them up to 50, and I can get some free crystals just by getting them up to level 50. As for universal types, screw Dormammu, because Dormammu is going to take way too much effort. But I have Groot, Black Bolt, Ultron, Black Bolt, Ultron, Angela, and Medusa will soon be at the 6-star, which will actually make me having 5 universal 6-star characters. People kept telling me, oh, get Robbie Reyes, he's the greatest character ever. And I'm just like, I don't care. I don't really care for him. I don't care much for Ghost Rider either. I don't care much for Thor. I don't care much for Loki. I mean, a lot of the characters is just like, I don't really like them. So, why? But yeah, that's what's been happening. is I've been getting the characters at least up to 4-star ranking, so when they hit level 50, I get free crystals for them. Like what ended up happening today or this morning, I did World Boss Invasion and I ended up getting the top damage out of everybody on the team, and out of the box came enough Shang-Chi biometrics to get them up to 4-star rank. So I was like, wow, okay, I'll go with that. I'll build them up to that. So a lot of these been building up as luck. I want to build up Songbird as my blast type, because I've been hearing a lot about Songbird. I'm like, she sounds like a great character, so why not? And then another guy was like, oh, get Enchantress. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really care for a lot of the characters per se. So yeah, that's about it. Anyway, to show you World Boss Ultimate Mode, I only beat one World Boss and I barely got through that. But World Boss Ultimate Mode, let's make the character even harder to deal with. But don't worry, we got Rocket Raccoon, we got Warwolf, and we have Groot. Which, in all honesty, I looked at the characters and I'm like, you know what? It would be better if I had Medusa. I could actually run a much better team. While in terms of having passives, and I'll have a full 5-block passive of Maximus, Black Bolt, and Medusa. Anyway, this is Black Dwarf, who, if you don't remember from my previous trials, Black Dwarf hits like a truck. Black Dwarf hits like a truck and is pretty much like a one-hit KO deal in terms of her. Him, her, it. Since I'm running that, let's see who to throw onto the team. Decreases damage from that. So I decrease damage by that. Increase my recovery rate. Increase the crit damage. This would be great when these two will be great when it comes to what's his face. When it comes to I can't think of his name right now. Oh boy. Yeah, these will be great when it comes to that character. I think you might know who I'm referring to. You don't? I'm sorry. Anyway. Oh, now it costs money to enter? It costs money to enter this super difficulty? Anyway, let's see my characters drop in seconds. Especially because I don't have a controller plugged in to actually legitimately deal with this. Legitimately move around. And he's already angry. This dude has already popped me. And I ended up, it's like, he popped me twice and that was it. Like, you don't do much damage at all either. Dude, that bleed damage just hurts. Dude, I did nothing to this guy. He's doing far more than I can heal. And look how much damage I do. Look how much damage I do to the guy. And that's a preview of the new World Boss Ultimate. Did you enjoy that beating? I sure didn't. And the world bosses right now are on Ebony Maw. So tomorrow it will be Thanos. Yeah, I could probably take down Corvus Glaive pretty easily. I could probably take him down. Ebony Maw is just annoying, to be honest. And X, Black Dwarf was already annoying to deal with to be like in the first place in terms of fighting him, because he's just not fair. Like, he's not fair. Like, he pops you once and that's it. Anyway, I've showed off everything I wanted to for this game for today. I am Brad, the Gaming Mole. I'm signing off. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.